Diabetics living in ozone-polluted areas, including South Africa, which is said to have one of the unsafe pollution levels, may have an increased risk of developing interstitial lung disease. This is according to a new study, a new US study that connects insulin resistance and repetitive ozone exposure to the development of interstitial lung disease, also known as pulmonary fibrosis, which results in difficulty in breathing. And for more on this topic, we joined via Skype by pharmacist, complementary medicines expert and life coach, Giulia Criscuolo. Giulia, a very good morning to you. Thanks for joining us. All right, we seem to have a little bit of difficulty connecting to Giulia, but we'll try to establish connection with her as soon as we get her. We'll definitely chat to her. Giulia Criscuolo, I believe, is now back. And a very good morning to you, Giulia. Thanks for joining us. A warm welcome to Morning Live.
Morning, Simpiwe. Lovely to be with you.
It's a pleasure having you back on the show, Giulia. Now, a study has found that diabetics living in ozone-polluted areas risk developing lung disease. Can you tell us a bit more about this?
Yes, Simpiwe, this study was done by the State University in Michigan. And what they found that people with pre-diabetes and also diabetes who are living in areas where there's a lot of smog, sometimes called ozone, have a much higher risk of developing a lung disease called interstitial lung disease, also called pulmonary fibrosis. And in this disease, what happens is the lung tissue becomes damaged and scarred, and so these people with diabetes or pre-diabetes really struggle with shortness of breath and decreased lung capacity.
How is this significant during the COVID-19 pandemic?
Well, of course, we know that with COVID, it affects the respiratory system. And so if you have diabetes already, you are more at risk. And then if you live in a polluted area and your lungs become compromised, then it's even more problematic. And so that's why it's so important, if you have diabetes, to make sure that you manage it well, that you take care of yourself, and as much as you can, especially inside your house, let the quality of the air be really good and wholesome.
We know that South Africa, we are not as industrialized as some of the Asian countries, but just what is the air quality like here in South Africa?
Well, according to WHO, 91% of the world population lives in
Hi, Giulia.
Relatively unsafe. And so the quality, especially in cities like Johannesburg, Cape Town, Durban, the air quality is not great. So it's something we really need to be aware of, although to some degree, there isn't much we can do about it. But in our home environments, there's a lot that we can actually do. We make sure that our home environments, we don't use harmful chemicals, cleaning chemicals, that there's no mold, fungi in our home, and also to have good ventilation. And make sure that, for example, you can use essential oil sprays in your home, which freshen the air and also are known to kill viruses and bacteria. So in your own home space, we can do something to make sure the air quality is good. And unfortunately, a lot of us are spending more time at home during these interesting times that we're living in.
Yeah, and most important, we need to, balance our sugar levels in diabetics and improve the respiratory health. And, we certainly hope that it will protect us in that way. Giulia, great chatting to you. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
All right, that was pharmacist, complementary medicines expert and life coach, Giulia Criscuolo. And we've been discussing a new study that reveals that diabetics exposed to air pollution are at a higher risk of lung disease.